up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So it's yesterday. I ended up going up to Jegs after work and I got some AN lines, the Dash 16. They didn't have all the fittings I needed. They only had 145, one straight, and then this hose. So obviously I'm not gonna be able to put the whole system together at the moment, but we can hopefully get that hose ran. I was out here messing with it a little bit yesterday, and I actually am now kind of second guessing myself on how I'm gonna do the fill. I thought that this would work, having this inline fill, and I can just put it in the line and go from there. The issue is that there's not very much room between the auto plumb fitting there and the water neck, or the water pipe. So I was thinking I might be able to just do like couplers on both sides and not have any AN hose per se. Do like a 45 here and then a straight there or whatever. But this morning I woke up and I was thinking that, you know, when you make power and the engine goes under load, the engine wants to tweak in the engine bay like this. And if I just have that held on there by hard plastic AN fittings like that, odds are when that engine tweaks, we're gonna break a fitting or something. So I'm now thinking that's probably not gonna work. So my thought is to fix that, it might be better to take the bumper back off and try to put the radiator on the outside of the core support underneath the bumper. That way we'll have more distance between the fitting and the water pipe. That way we can actually fit some sort of actual soft AN hose in there somewhere. So today that's what I'm looking to do. I'm gonna hopefully get the bumper back off. I'm gonna try to get the radiator out, and then we'll hopefully try to figure out a way that we can relocate the radiator to the outside of the core support and then remount it out there and then see what happens. But I'm not really sure what to expect. But yeah, we'll jump into it and see what we can figure out. All right, so I think I've about figured out how I'm gonna do this. I just gotta order the fittings. So I got this guy coming off of a straight. I don't know how well you can see that. And then it's gonna curve over like this, and then we'll have a 90 going to the radiator from there. So that should work. I might have to make that hose just a hair longer. And then the bottom one, we've got the 45 coming up. We'll have a hose coming straight up to here. And then we'll have a 90 off of that, going straight down to that hose. And then right there we'll have a 45-degree coupler to just hook these two together with no hose. So hopefully all of that'll work. I gotta order all those fittings and then we can mock it up and see. And then that'll still give us the fill, which will go right here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and order those fittings, and then whenever they get here, we can see if we can hook it all up. All right, you guys, so I just got all the fittings that I ordered from Jegs for, the Dash 16 AN lines for my radiator. I went ahead and started mocking them up already, and I can already tell it's not gonna work the way I thought it was. So I got the 45 coupler on there. You guys can't see that. Let me get a light so you can see what I'm looking at here. All right, so I got that 45-degree coupler right there coming from the thermostat housing into this fill neck. But I was hoping to put a 90 on the end of that and run it straight down to that 45 down there. But as you can see, that ain't gonna work out. So the only other thing I could think would be to put maybe a 45 on it and run it through that hole right there and then loop it around to that guy down there. Or maybe even a straight fitting, actually, but I feel like a straight fitting, it's not going to have the bend radius that I'm looking for right there, but it might. I don't know. I'd have a straight fitting right there so we could test it. But yeah, I don't know, guys. If that's the case, then we could take that 45 down there, put it up here, and then that should run it a little smoother to that guy, to that 90. I don't really know. But we're gonna tinker with this thing a little bit, see if we can figure out how to get those ran without having any difficulties. But so far, it seems like it should be the easiest part of the process, and I'm struggling the most with it. I got all the hard stuff done. The car runs, the tune's good, the engine's in there, everything's good to go, but this is just really kicking my butt, guys. So we'll get it figured out though. It's not a big deal at all. We'll get it figured out. I also got the radiator fan. So we'll go ahead and put that guy in there too. It is a 10-inch fan. Got it from Summit Racing. So it got, I think it was like 1,000 CFMs of air. It was the most CFMs that I could find on their website without having to wait a month or two for delivery. And then this fan over here that I was using before, I'm thinking was the issue with why it was overheating so much. That was probably only like a 500 CFM fan, but when I bought that, I didn't know enough about it to even look, so I have no idea what that was. So hopefully this fan works and keeps it nice and cool without overheating like it has been. But yeah, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into this whole fitting ordeal and see if we can figure out a way to make it work. Hopefully we can. But yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, you guys, so ended up not being able to plumb it how I was hoping to, but my backup plan ended up working out perfectly. So I just put the 45 right there, ran the hose down through that hole, and then put the 90 on the bottom of the radiator down there. So then up top I got the 90 to just a straight there. And yeah, it's all plumbed in and we're ready to go, guys. So now I can go ahead and get the fan on it, wire the fan up, and then hopefully we'll be able to start it and actually let it warm up, get some coolant in it, and see what happens. So we're super close, guys. I'm super excited. I'm really happy that worked. I've been stressed all day about that because I was just, in the back of my head, was thinking that it wasn't going to end up lining up the way I wanted it to, which it didn't. But I'm happy it still ended up coming out decent and being able to work. So the last thing I have to figure out now is where I'm going to run my intake, because the filter used to sit right there. So now, obviously, that's in the way. So I'll have to figure that out when we get there. But it is what it is, guys, because, you know, what can you do? But yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get working on the fan here, hopefully get it mounted up and get it wired, and then we'll see what happens. All right, you guys, the fan is on. I got it wired up just temporarily because I have to make sure the polarity of the wires is correct, because if I have them backwards, the fan will be spinning the wrong way and it'll be pulling air to me instead of pushing it through the radiator. So I gotta fill it up with coolant still, and then I can start it, let it start getting warm. And then once it gets warm, I can set on the AEM Infinity software that I want the fan to come on below whatever the coolant temp is at the time. And then the fan will come on, then I can check to make sure it's spinning the right way. And then if it is, we should be good. I can just let it get warm and make sure it holds temp and all that good stuff. If it spins the wrong way, then I'll have to turn it off and swap the wires out and do it all over again. But yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. I'm gonna go dive right into this thing, and hopefully we'll get this thing running here soon. All right, you guys, so I just got it topped off with coolant, at least as much as I could get in there for right now, at least until the thermostat opens, I imagine. There was a little bit of a mishap down here. There's a stupid breather on the side. You probably can't see it, but on the side of the radiator, there's a stupid little breather thing that I didn't know about. So as soon as I started dumping coolant in there, I just started dumping it right back on the floor. So I got a temporary fix on that. I don't think it's going to hold up forever. Eventually I'll have to figure out something else to do with that, but for right now I just put like a piece of tubing on it with a bolt in it and put some hose clamps on it. So hopefully it'll hold up for right now. I really don't want to be blowing coolant all over my garage right at the moment, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hook my laptop up, start it, and then we'll watch that coolant temp. When it starts rising up, we can go ahead and mess with the fan settings, see if we can get the fan to kick on and off, and then we'll watch for when that thermostat opens. Then we can take the radiator cap back off and top it off with coolant. So we'll go ahead and get started on that, guys. All right, guys, so I let it get relatively warm, but I did end up, the coolant got up to like 140 degrees. I changed the settings where the fan would come on when it was over 100 degrees. And it said the fan was on, but I came up front, the fan was sure enough not on. So yeah, I don't know if there's something going on with the wiring. I really don't know. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I might just wire the fan to like a switch or something for the time being, but yeah, so that's really all we got left to figure out is that fan situation, and then we can really try to actually get this thing going. But it definitely does not sound super healthy at idle, obviously because the tune is just kind of something that I made up. So I'm probably not gonna let it run too much as it sits. There's a puddle of something under the ground underneath it. That's not good. Hopefully just coolant, but who knows. But yeah, I probably won't let it run too much as it sits without taking it to an actual tuner and having that all straightened out. But we are very close, guys. Super, super close, and I could not be more excited about it. Actually, real quick, guys, so that is actually coolant leaking out from behind the timing cover. So I'm going to have to pull that off and check the water pump, because I almost guarantee that's what's leaking here. You can kind of see it down there behind the timing cover right where the light's at. And you can see it all over, just dripping off the oil pan from back there behind that timing pump. You can see how wet it is back over here, so that sucks. So, but at least it'll hopefully be an easy fix. So yeah, I'll have to pull that timing cover off at some point and check the water pump. But for the meantime, guys, that's going to do it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, as always, and we will see you next time.